so much for taking the time for this interview. I saw all four episodes and I thought it was hilarious. That Star Wars can still be Star Wars, but still also have the room to be funny. And on that note, these Lego movies can are known for laughs, but they're also heartfelt moments. I was just wondering, was there a line or a scene within these episodes that hit you particularly in like the emotional gut?
That's a
For,
good question.
for me in part one, there's like a scene in a moment where Dev is trying to convince Sig to join him in the evil universe, and he's like, "I've never had anyone. I've never," and those lines when I was reading those got me. Those were
Mm.
emotional beats that I was like, "Oh, it is so heartbreaking."
I think that's really cool. I would say I probably feel the same way that what I feel most emotionally compelled to is the initial impact that Sig has of losing his favorite person. Not only not having him as his brother anymore, but also a completely opposite figure to what he knows and loves, and somebody actively antagonistic to him and trying to potentially take his life from him, which is pretty scary. Um, uh, but what I think is so interesting is that when this galaxy gets reshuffled, it doesn't change the person per se, it just more changes the circumstances and their experiences in their own life. And so with Dev specifically, it's the same guy, but probably having a completely different history and series of events happening up to that point. And like you said, he's probably been very alone throughout his life. So he channeled his passion and his skill and his finesse and his his energy for life into really dark channels. And I think it's really cool to see where somebody ends up when they don't have a support system around them. And
Mhm.
Sig is kind of introduced as that support system far beyond uh, a reasonable time and when seemingly it might be too late. But for Sig, somebody who is very headstrong and stubborn, it never seems like he has a possibility to understand when something might be too late. And so he never really gives up.
Right. That's a good answer. I was Do you have any fond memories of playing with Legos, and did Star Wars voicing a Star Wars character make you see these minifigures differently?
I mean, I remember building Legos as a kid. I build them now, and I love them dearly. So I'm always happy whenever I see any of those. Just, ignore me for 4 hours. I'll be building. But yeah, you know what? Voicing a character in a Lego Star Wars thing, it did change my opinion on Legos. Like I see them for, I guess, so much more than
Mhm.
they just were, which was not that they were nothing in my brain, but I don't know. There's more of an like emotional attachment to the imagination that can be made through them.
Yeah,
And
they were
then,
always a great channel for channeling my own
yeah.
imagination when I was younger. I remember one time my brother and I made a little home movie with Lego figures and tried to do stop motion
Oh,
and gave up like 10 minutes in. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
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 But honestly, in your mind, it works out so well, though.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you think
and
it
then
will.
yeah.
You think it's gonna be easy. It is not. I guarantee it.
But there's a passion for it. So, considering how much of the series centers on re-envisioning Star Wars or reshuffling it, as you said, Gaten, I was just wondering, is there a piece of Star Wars canon that you would like to be reshaped?
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a good question.
It's not that
Ah,
I'd like it to be reshaped. I just would love to see what happened, like a good what if
yeah, those are fun.
did not die and actually
Yeah,
like
those.
because to me, Obi-Wan treated and raised Anakin like a brother when I think he needed a father. And I think Qui-Gon Jinn could have given him that father energy.
Mm.
And who knows if he would have gone
Oh.
to the Dark Force if that was the case. But anyway, that's my like I would love that what if.
One of my favorite what ifs, and this is a very specific one. I thought we talked about this before in today, like in other interviews, but one of my favorites is what if Mace killed Palpatine? Because
Oh.
it's at a moment where it's out there, the Sith are back, and Anakin is far along enough into the process where I think that he still is kind of too far along for there not to be consequences for the actions he's already done. So I'm curious to see how devastating of a force he would have become without Palpatine at his side, if he would have been if he would have remained a Jedi. I doubt that the council would have like let him remain a Jedi Knight, let alone
No,
become a
like a
master. I
rogue.
think that has sent him down a worse process. He probably still would have lost Padme, but he hasn't been disfigured at all, and so does he become more powerful with the full potential of being Darth Vader in Anakin's body without being mutilated and in the machine. Does it get worse? And do we see like an actual duel between him and Mace? And who knows who would have won that one? Because that seems like a pretty even match
Pretty
as
match.
well.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
tough.
it's a good
There's
match.
so many
I think the
hypotheticals
only
out there. I
reason
mean,
the only reason Obi-Wan holds his own is because Obi-Wan taught Anakin everything he knows.
yes,
That's
and
the
that's
only
true.
reason, because Anakin is more powerful and talented, but Obi-Wan just knows his brain more than
Well,
and
he taught him,
that's
right?
yeah.
Yeah, Padawan, and yeah. So
Mhm.
thank you, Ty, so much for this. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to tell everyone to watch this. It was great. Thank you,
Thank you.
and it's great to talk to you, Dan and Benji. How are you both doing?
We're doing
We're
great.
doing great. Nice to see you.
Okay, I can see.
Okay, good.
Um,
You're back.
yeah. So I saw the I saw all the episodes of this, and I thought it was really great because again, it just follows up. It closes some of that closes some loops, I guess, so to speak, and it gives kind of that redemption story to Dev in particular.
Yeah.
For what I was wondering is when you working in this kind of creating these kind of stories, what was the most exciting thing for you to tackle? What was the opportunity that you were most excited to do, basically?
I think that we were most excited to celebrate the entirety of Lego and Star Wars and the Lego Star Wars galaxy to the best of our ability. And I think that that encompassed a lot of things, including, okay, what are these characters that we have always wanted to play with and that we can now play with in this rebuilt galaxy? But also, I think it was, how can we tell a real Star Wars story that feels spiritually like Star Wars, that still is hilarious and off kilter like the Lego Star Wars content that's come before, but that also at a certain point you kind of lose yourself in and you go, not only am I watching a great Lego Star Wars uh, show, I'm watching a great Star Wars story.
Mhm.
And that was really important to us. And I think it was one of the things that I think that we achieved in the first set of episodes, and based on the feedback that we're hearing, it seems like people are really responding in the same way, and that's very rewarding to us.
Um, with these episodes, I was just wondering, what was the experimental process like to make sure things had to, I guess, click into place, so to speak?
I mean, it was a very, natural process of we came up with the thematic that we wanted to tell and the story that would fit into that, and then it's piecing together of like, well, what elements and what mashups and what twists on characters best serve this story that we're wanting to tell. And so, it was one of those things where each part of the process, from the writing and then to recording and then animating, and we kept adding new layers of Easter eggs and fun and references and kept pushing ourselves to explore, as much as we possibly could. And, like one of the guiding principles of this second series is, exploring every corner of the Star Wars galaxy, Lego Star Wars galaxy that we could reach. So like that meant opening things up to, like the brick built figures like Chewbacca and the brickhead Ahsoka
Yes.
and pushing ourselves to go bigger and more surprising.
Yep.
Yeah, the scale is so much bigger, like you said. The brick builds. There are brick builds now, and then there's Ahsoka's. I don't know what are they called? The brickheads, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what they call. So there. Uh, what other, I guess, models or um, Lego lines were you interested in, like inserting into the story that would be just like so much fun for you? Because there's also Jax, and there's so many other fun characters that we've never really gotten to see before,
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
in
like
their Lego forms.
on the Lego side of things, it was things like brick built characters and brickhead. Like we really just wanted to explore. If we were celebrating Lego Star Wars, like we wanted to see every line of product, not just minifigs and ships. There are other types of Lego sets that exist, and we wanted them to have a place too. And then, yeah, on the Star Wars side of things, it really was like, what are the characters that could maybe only show up on this show? You know, what are the deep cuts? Whether it is Jackson, which is a character that goes back almost to the beginning of Star Wars, and but we've never seen on screen before, and we were like, we have the opportunity to do it. Something we could only do on our show was bring the entire Skywalker family together,
Yeah.
and so that got us really excited. Of like, we have a huge opportunity to see what is it like when the four of them are together. And so, yeah, that's
Those were the kind of things that we challenged ourselves to think of, to just be surprising, and to say, if we were watching this as fans, who are the characters we never thought we would see? For me, Darth Revan from Knights of the Old Republic. Like, oh my goodness, what's he doing there? Or for newer fans, Cal Kestis.
Yes.
Trying to
That
incorporate
was
these things organically together into this crazy mashed up, mixed up Lego Star Wars galaxy.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun to see all those characters. Unfortunately I don't have any more time left, but thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to do this interview.
Well, you are so welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Michael.
Thank you.
Professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life.